So I'm not sure. I'm sure my attorney, when I meet with her on Monday, will be talking about what I shouldn't be saying. So I won't talk very much about myself and what's going on unless she lets me. But I do want to talk about what I did experience uh, Friday night into all of Saturday. And the women that I saw, it was like literally Orange is the New Black. I can't make that up. I started by, I was in this room for a phone call, and there was a girl there, a woman there, who literally, her and her husband, it was domestic violence. He called, so she got taken to jail. And I do think it's funny is that she literally put her hands on someone, and her bail was $1,000. Didn't put my hands on anybody ever. And I made no threatening of any kind, physical threat of any kind. But like she experienced, first one to the courthouse wins. Like, the Jesse and his family called about my trespassing. And from then on, because of what Officer Mays put in her report, wrongfully, because I didn't say what she said I said. That's why she broke 837.06. But yeah, so anyhow, my point is that there was this woman, and I talked to her. I literally talked just like I was talking to, like, hey, shared my experience with my ex-husband and that domestic violence and how the police handled it back then, and stuff. And then I shared, like, was literally in a room with, at one point, three other women. So there was four of us in a room smaller than my office here. So all that. One was your typical, what I'll say, druggie. One, I didn't even realize what her story was until the Saturday. And the one that I'll say was your typical, and I don't mean any disrespect, but I'm just saying, like, the storylines would say, like in Orange is the New Black, she was there because she broke her probation and her piss. Like, that's just the facts. And she actually has to stay for, like, there was no bail. She broke her probation. It was their second or third break. The point is, and she's sitting there as we're literally shackled, waiting to go before a virtual judge. So I don't know why we have to be shocked, but anyhow, when she was literally, like, talking about one of the dudes that were cleaning and how he was good look, and I'm literally saying out loud, honey, he's in jail. And he's like in jail enough that he's got these privileges that he's cleaning. How about we look for men elsewhere? And then I heard that, because I was in it with more women and them talking, and it all seemed like a lot of them were there because of some men problem. I'm just saying. And I literally told them, I said, you all need to find men. They can have a past, but they shouldn't be in jail today. But they can have a past, but you need someone that loves you like Jesus. I literally said, you need someone like my husband, who literally, by the time I got my first phone call Friday night, he'd already had a bail bondman lined up, and he had an attorney lined up. And I was like, you need someone that will love you like Jesus and stuff. But what really got me was the woman that was in there, who was literally I go walking up into my cell, and she's just like asleep. The only one, she go, like, she acknowledged me, but we didn't even start talking until Saturday. And she was in there. She was shackled, you guys. And what I like to say, she was in there for being poor. And what I mean by that is she was in there because she owed $1,000 of child support. She literally was talking before we even got in front of the judge. She was literally talking about how she chose the wrong man. She'd gone job to job. She had just finally had another job. She had just started another job. And here they come and arrest her. 2 cop cars come pulling up on her and put her in handcuffs because she owes $1,000 in child support. Now, you should be held accountable for that. But back in my day, at least in Ohio, the men that owed thousands and 20s and 30s of thousands of dollars, they at least were allowed to, if they were to come out of jail for the day, to earn an income and come back, or they got to serve their time on the weekend. And even then, when they call up, jail's full, you ain't coming. So, like, I'm not saying that she shouldn't be held accountable, but she was in there shackled for $1,000 of child support. So yeah, when I got out, I told my husband, go take care of that. Because I could not. And he's like, what are you doing? We need to, and I like, yep, you're right. Take me home, but then go take care of that. Because I cannot knowingly sit there and have seen a woman shackled where we're in an orange jumpsuit, not any bra, and in order to even go to the bathroom, we have to expose everything. Everything. Like, we can't even have a bra to cover our boobs. Like, I'm not sitting there. Well, I just saw a woman who acknowledged her wrongs and stood before a judge and literally is locked up, would have been locked up until when? To win. And then she would be transferred to a whole nother county on top of that. That's not okay with me, and it shouldn't be okay with you guys either. So I'm going to talk about this type of stuff on how our women, they need better support. They need better support. And that's what one of the things I keep saying over and over again in my videos is our women and our children need better resources. And I stand by it, especially given what I saw. Because Orange is the New Black is not just a TV show. Those storylines I saw very, very minimal firsthand in just one day. So reminding everybody, especially myself, to do better. And if you can help someone around you who's struggling, please do. Thank you.